Hello, all the students of 10th class. Welcome to your online classes for English literature. Today, I am Ekta Kapoor is going to give some explanation about your literature books text lessons. Okay. First of all, you must know about your two books. Which are two books? The first book is The First Flight and second one is Footprints Without Feet. The first book, which is the main book in which your fictions chapters are here, there are total numbers of chapters are 11. And second is Supplementary Reader Footprints Without Feet, in which there are 10 chapters. In the first flight, 11 chapters of poetry and 11 chapters of prose are there. Let's begin with your first main book, The First Flight. Chapter name is A Letter to God. I thought let's begin with this book. It's very good book and interesting book, and definitely I hope you will take interest to listen the whole story of A Letter to God. A Letter to God by G.L. Fuentes. Okay, whenever you listen or anybody listens, A Letter to God, the title is amazing or different in itself. Why? I ask why. The answer is, this is different from others, from other chapters. The main reason is this: how can a one person writes a letter to God? There is no mail address of God. There is no particular address of God. God is omnipresent. God is everywhere. Okay, God is here and there. But if somebody asks you question like this, reason of writing a letter to God, how many reasons are there? But in my point of view, there is one reason, of course, definitely. Means, how can you write down a letter to God? Not me, not you, but the protagonist of the chapter is Lencho, who is a poor farmer, and Lencho writes a letter to God. Understood? Now, characters of the story. The main protagonist of Lencho, L-E-N-C-H-O, main protagonist of the chapter Lencho, the whole story is depicted or concerned with the great feelings of Lencho, who is a poor farmer. Now the next is the postmaster. Third characters, not character, the employees of the post office. Okay, now you will listen about Lencho. As you know very well, I just have told you, Lencho is a poor farmer who lives at the crest of a hill. Crest of a hill. Crest means C-R-E-S-T, crest. Crest means at the top of mountain or hill. But in that valley, Lencho lives in a valley at the top, but in that valley, his house is alone. Nobody else lived in that valley instead of Lencho. And what do you know about the farmers? Let's begin with the characteristic of farmers. You can give me 1 or 2 points. Okay, I'm just going to tell you. If I ask this question, what is the dire need of a farmer? Definitely you should reply me, ma'am, the necessity of the flourishment and the development of the crops. Definitely, this is a necessity of each and every farmer. farmer, because all the farmers are dependent on his crops, any type of crop. Okay, but in this chapter, Lencho, who lives at the crest of a hill, whose dire need is as same as I have told you, dire need to develop, to flourish the crop of cornfield. Cornfields are there, but Lancho is waiting for the rainfall. Okay, he had been waiting for the rainfall. Each and every drop of the rainfall seemed to Lancho like a silver coins. Why? Because he had been waiting for a long time. Now it's a time for harvest. It's a time for harvest. Each and every farmer is dependent on the harvest, cutting of crops. Now, one day, when Rancho had been waiting for a long time for the falling of the raindrops, okay, he just thought, if God will help me to shower the rain, okay, definitely I will get the money by harvesting the crops. But these were the thinking, these were the thoughts of Lancho, which have been stricken in his mind. And the wife of Lancho also worried about this, as well as Lancho. Lancho is a poor farmer who definitely is a hard-working farmer. Okay, you can say. And each and every desire is dependent on the harvesting of crop. The reason is this: he thinks a lot that if God won't help me, definitely my family will be suffered with starvation. Starvation means lack of hunger. Now, I'm just going to tell other keynotes of the chapter. Now everyone, pay your attention on the board, the characteristics of these characters. The question may be there, okay, what are the characteristics of Lancho in this chapter? So first of all, we take the role of Lancho here, okay, and the qualities of Lancho: a poor farmer, okay. Next characteristic: lives at the crest of a hill. I think all these keynotes should be noted down. Okay, you can note down so that you can recall each and everything related with this chapter. Otherwise, you will forget. Lives at the crest of hill. Next, the main thing is this: he has a great faith स्टॉप करो जरा जो मैंने sentences. The main protagonist Lancho, a poor farmer, lived at the crest of hill. He had a great faith in God. That's why the name is there, a letter to God. Next, he was totally dependent on harvest. He had cornfields. Postmaster. Okay. Up to the mark. These are the things up to the mark of Lancho. Now, we haven't discussed about the role of Postmaster here. When Lancho thought about the harvesting of the crop, suddenly he thought about the God. Then God's grace should be there on my crops, cornfield crops. That's why Lencho always remembered the name of God. His wife remembered the name of God. As soon as the clouds bursted, okay, the weather changed. Suddenly, Lancho noticed that maybe the drops of rains are going to be showering. As soon as he saw at the cloud, okay, the drops of the rain were falling step by step. He noticed and he just looked at those falling crops, those falling drops of the rains were looking like silver coins. They were like silver coins because silver coins, why Lancho called those pearls, those raindrops like silver coins? Because those silver coins were necessary part of the harvesting of the crop. And when Lencho noticed that after showering the rain, okay, he was very pleased. He was not disappointed that definitely God listened me. Definitely there is a grace of God on me. But he abruptly got up and noticed that with the raindrops, some hailstorms were also there. Those hailstorms were discussed as frozen pearls in the chapter. You may find the word frozen pearls. Frozen pearls were showering step by step with the drops of rain, and certainly those hailstorms were not good for the crops of cornfield. Lencho was definitely depressed, and desperately he just called the name of the God and remembered the grace of God. He just took a paper and wrote something to God. What wrote something to God? That my each and every crop Lancher took a paper and wrote something to God. He just wrote some particular words, some panic words, because he was very distressed that God, I need your help. If you won't help us, how could we survive? Certainly, you must help me for 100 pesos. Pesos is a currency name. And he demanded 100 pesos from the God. He just wrote down for 100 pesos in that letter and he posted it. And the main turning point of the whole chapter starts now. After writing a letter to God demanding for 100 pesos, now the turning point is, can you imagine what is the turning point? Yes. The role of Postmaster depicts here. As soon as that particular letter which Lancho wrote, read by Postmaster, when Postmaster read that letter, how can it be possible? On the top of the envelope, a person can note down or address this letter to God, because to God was written on the top of the envelope. Now, the expressions of the Postmaster was definitely amazing. He was astonished. First of all, he laughed. But after laughing with surprise, Postmaster realized that the same firm belief and firm faith in God I must have. What a great feeling Postmaster created or stroke in his mind. Postmaster realized. Postmaster realized the deep faith in God. Okay, what he didn't have, right? Postmaster didn't have before reading the letter written by Lencho, but after realizing that definitely Postmaster thought about that. No, I should help that person by any means, by hook or by crook. I must help that person because he had a dire need of money. That's why he demanded 100 pesos from God. Okay, but that faith shouldn't be shaken. The Postmaster confirmed in his mind. Okay, now Postmaster decided. He decided that, okay, I had to help. He decided that I need to help at any cost. After that, Postmaster called and discussed this matter with the employees of the post office. Postmaster discussed this matter with the employees and he ordered that each and every person should cooperate to give money as an act of charity, because this farmer needs a lot. I think he lost everything. That's why we have to be cooperated. All the employees agreed. They agreed and said, okay sir, definitely we will help. Now the role of employees. Okay, the main thing is this: the Postmaster also gave some part of his salary, and the rest of the part contributed by the employees of the post office. Okay, now the role of employees, as I have told you, all the employees played a genuine role like the Postmaster. Okay, now they all decided to help that farmer. Okay, the amount what they collected, it was not 100 pesos, but on the other hand, they only collected, and they were able to collect only 70 pesos, and they decided to give and decided to put in the envelope and send it to the lencho farmer. When lencho opened that envelope or received that envelope, he was surprised because he expected total 100 pesos from God, and when he saw 70 pesos in that envelope. He was astonished. All the hopes were ruined. It was seeming. Lencho thought for a while. No. I expected 100 pesos. My God, my faith. Okay, no, my faith couldn't do like this. Means God couldn't do such type of mistake to give only 70 pesos, but I demanded 100 pesos. After that, he got angry. And he thought, no, 70 pesos, it's impossible. God should have given me 100 pesos, definitely or certainly. The employees of the post office have stolen my rest of the amount, means 30 pesos. Maybe they stole. Students, now the part of conclusion. When Lencho found only 70 pesos. Okay, what were the feelings of Lencho? How he reacted? You can see here, he was amazed, he was angry, he was disappointed. Means all these type of panic feelings were shattered in his mind, because he expected 100 pesos. He demanded 100 pesos in his letter. He wrote the letter. But the rest of the amount, means currency, about 30 pesos, not found from God. And he couldn't expect, he couldn't believe that God could do this. After that, he decided in his mind one thing. Definitely I should write again a letter to God, and I will send that letter and mention these words: do not send the rest of the amount 30 pesos through money order. I will certainly write down these lines to God, because now I understood that the employees of the post office must be a bunch of crooks. What? Lencho called the employees a bunch of crooks. Now the question raises, why bunch of crooks? On the other hand, they helped a lot. Means they contributed money to help that farmer. But why Lencho called a bunch of crooks to all the employees of post office? Because Lencho thought that the rest of the amount, or 30 pesos, stole, or 30 pesos had stolen by. Now the concluding part ended with the words, a bunch of crooks, called by Lencho to the employees of post office. A bunch of crooks means dishonest people or criminals, because Lencho thought that 30 pesos had been stolen by the employees of Postmaster. Postmaster nahi. Now the ending of the chapter is there, but not completely ended, because now there is need to recall each and everything related with the concept. All the students, you need to jot down each and everything, and in next class I will discuss about the questions based on this chapter. Okay, thank you.